Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 5 with some more multiplayer racing. For this, we are running in A-Class with some movie/TV cars, basically some famous vehicles. We've done these a few times in various different games, in various different ways. I've never driven a DeLorean for one of these, so I'm going to change that today. I've got a DeLorean, admittedly. There's not much DeLorean left. It's on off-road race tyres, all-wheel drive, with a big supercharged V8 in the back of it, so should be an interesting experience. I'm not the only one with a DeLorean. The other one has a V8, but is turboed on rally tyres, not off-road race, and is rear-wheel drive, so it'll be fun to see how that comes out in all of this. That's Stevie's driving that one somewhere. We've got a selection of vehicles. We've got two Ford Coupes from different films. We've got some Fast and Furious cars in here. We've got some Bond Toyotas. I think they're both there. Both of them are built different. I set out the rules, which some of us have similar ideas, it turns out. I know there are lots of film and TV cars, but this is just what people have ended up building. I think my DeLorean's got nearly 600 horsepower in this. We could be quite strong. Certainly off-road. I mean, this first track, as far as off-road circuits go, is not the most ridiculous. We've got Cannonball Run Countach is going to follow us down towards turn one. Yeah, I mean, this first track, it is off-road, but it is not the most extreme off-roady circuit. We might struggle. We'll have to wait and see. This thing has got quite short gear ratios. It can go up to 198 miles an hour, which I'm never going to need on any of these circuits, particularly. Countach has a look, but can't do anything there. We will, get a lot of airtime in an awkward place through there. Countach is to the inside, will not get the drive off the corner to fight back past. We are sliding around. I'm going to presume the Countach is also on off-road race tyres if it has got this amount of grip. It is harrying, but not able to find a way through. We get a bucket load of understeer. The downside I have with the DeLorean is front tyre. In fact, tyres in general are not very big on this car. They're at 255s, which is not really big enough. There's a whole horde of cars behind having a look. Now, the rally tyres might be the way to go around this track, honestly, because so much of it is on tarmac, and I struggle with a lot of understeer on the tarmac. I've got no aero on this car. I just try to kind of make the most of the power, straight line speed. There has been a bump behind. Don't know what's happened. All of it, the Evo's come out in front. That's fine by me. The Countach has dropped back. I think the Countach and the Supra might have got together. Either way, they've lost some time and they've fallen back. DeLorean will lead the opening lap. Whether it's going to continue to lead the whole way, I don't know. We're going to take it a little bit easy. Now, some cars, may well, these races tackle all surfaces. Some cars may well not have off-roady tyres. Now, they're going to struggle here. While, yes, probably 2/3 of the track is on tarmac, you'll lose so much time here. They won't be great. Doesn't mean they're not going to be fast elsewhere, though. I heard an Evo. There is an Evo. I'm just taking it a little bit cautiously here, because I know this is not the easiest vehicle in the world to drive. Basically, just try not to bin the DeLorean. It is definitely not got as much grip as some of the other cars. It is fast accelerating, though. It really can use its power. And I'm hoping that might be able to keep me out of the way of danger. Basically, we can accelerate out of these slower corners quick enough that we're really difficult to pass. It's maybe an ambitious hope, but we will have to wait and see. We're going to run a little bit wide there, but the Supra is not in range. As top three seem to be gone in all of this, we seem to be well clear of the rest of the pack. Don't run wide. Just expect and be aware that this thing is not great. The corners, it is more of a point and squirt car, this one. Just use that 600 horsepower. It weighs just over 3,000 pounds, so it's a decent power, not crazy power to weight ratio, but it is decent at least. We will bobble our way over here. Chris has had a disconnect at this stage. We're decent enough off-road. I'm hoping it should be good off-road. It's all-wheel drive, has the right tyres. Doesn't actually really feel all that grippy, which is a problem potentially for future races. Supra is right on our tail. Can it match us for acceleration? And if it can, where is it going to look for a way past? And do you look for a way through here? I mean, if you're on off-road race tyres, you don't have much grip through that section. Get that change of direction. If you get it wrong there, you end up in a wall. We take a sort of wide line on the way in. I should be a little bit more wary of the Supra potentially having a dive on future laps. It closed, but wasn't close enough. We can run wide there, doesn't matter. We've got the grip, and the Supra just can't carry the same speed there. We are clear as we head down towards turn 1 here. Yeah, we pulled a nice gap to the Supra. It's struggling a little bit to live with the pace of the DeLorean through there. Maybe it's a little mistake from the Toyota. Now, I've got to not do anything dumb off-road. We've got through here so far, but it's actually, I mean, as far as the off-road section goes, it's a bit nasty. There's some awkward bumps, there's some awkward corners. I mean, there's a bump mid-corner there. It's quite a challenge to get that all right here as we will slide our way through this next section. We've just got to get it stopped as we change onto the tarmac. Don't beans up the chicane. Toyota has maybe caught a smidge, but nothing crazy. Yeah, just don't beans up the chicane on the final lap. We get a little slide, nothing too bad. Supra's actually carried good speed this time around. Don't think it's going to be close enough to have a dive, although we're going to park it kind of in the middle, just to discourage a dive from the Supra. It's close, but not going to be close enough to do anything about the DeLorean. The Back to the Future machine will claim victory in race number 1. Oh, we got pushed for it. There's no doubt about it. The Supra was quick. I think it might have made just a couple of little mistakes at critical points, which kept me far enough away. Lap times were close. I mean, the lap times between me, the Supra, the Evo, one of the Toyotas was fast as well. We're only talking a few tenths here and there, though. Still, the other DeLorean struggled around here, although it was rear-wheel drive. Yeah. Okay. Definitely got some competitive speed in that. Off-road race for the Supra as well. Looks like rally possibly on the Toyota. But there we go. Well, one race and one victory. I'll take it. So, we head to the Estadio circuit, all on tarmac, for our DeLorean. In fact, the DeLoreans are starting on the same row, pretty much. I'm curious as to how my car will do here. And there are going to be some vehicles that will enjoy. In fact, they've got all the pairs together. They've got the 2 Toyotas, the 2 DeLoreans, and 2 Fords. Forza, you're not doing a very good job of mixing up the grids. It's done this before. Oh well. Yeah, some of the vehicles, if anyone's running slick tyres, you might brave it. Could be very, very fast here. I'm, of course, never going to have the grip of that. But, I mean, we have got a good chunk of power. This track is a pretty fast circuit, although we are going to potentially struggle at some of the more twisty bits. I know that one of the 32 Fords is running a crap ton of power. I believe Ruskies is running about 900 horsepower, which is 300 more than me, although I am likely to be a little bit more composed than that car as we head around this next very, very quick corner. The Supra is blinking around. I hope I don't punt it, but if I do, I'm really sorry. I can't see where it is. We're going to have to, we're on a very tight line through there, try and not push the Bond Toyota out of the way. We will get through the chicane. The Evo's got a load. The Eclipse has got a load of speed. The Evo's battling away at the front, I think. We are to the inside of the Eclipse, and we will take that. Stevie's had a go with the other DeLorean up the inside. We will fight back through here now. Use our acceleration. See if we can. It's the battle of the time machines. We do have more power, although Stevie will have considerably more grip on this surface than I do when the back end isn't sliding around. I mean, we're quick down the straight, but I don't think we're quick enough to overcome our handling issues, so to speak. But if we can keep that group behind, I'll be relatively happy. We carried great speed through here. The Ferrari is struggling a little bit. We will bomb past that on the run up the hill. If I can just not have myself on incredibly tight lines through a lot of these corners, would be good. The Ferrari may have some top speed as well, although it doesn't have much PI to play with. Necessarily in this. There it goes. Has got more grip than I do. Although it's going to be on a funky line through the chicane, as is the Supra that's out wide, and Chris will fire back past. We're going to have a look to the inside on a neat and tidy line past the Ferrari potentially here. Yep, we've got the traction to make that one work. We will duck out of the next corner. Use the 600 horsepower DeLorean. It can shift. It can shift when it needs to around here. Oh, Ruski's run wide. That's desperately unlucky. Rusky was doing really well with an incredibly difficult to drive car, but ran wide and got into trouble. We're going to have a sneak up the inside of the Supra, maybe. Now, I'm not worried about getting the pass done there because that was the plan. We'll cut underneath it, get a better run up the hill, an easier pass to do that. It was just try and shuffle the Toyota out of position for that manoeuvre. Now we've got to go try and chase down Chris in that very classic machine. We'll go for a downshift through there. Now, don't know what tyres that thing's on. We may have more grip than it. Whatever tyres it's on, I mean, chassis-wise, I know the DeLorean's not great, but it's probably going to be better than that thing. We will run in carefully through here. Oh, Ferrari thought about having a look. Never really quite going to be a gap there. Oh, I did not get that final section right. We've all got to watch for the Eclipse. That thing is flying. I actually have a B-Class, one of those, very, very strong. The Eclipse can be a very quick vehicle. And we have the straight line speed. I know we have the straight line speed on the Ford. We saw last lap around as we were coming down here. However, we're not close enough. The Evo's not really got that far away. The Evo's not that much faster in all of this. A better spot on the grid and less fighting for me, and there's definitely some pace in the DeLorean here. Yeah, Rusky unlucky, and who knows how fast that thing could have been had not clipped the wall. I presume a big oversteer moment probably got that vehicle in trouble. We are playing it risky, but I got to, because we don't have much time to find a way up to second in all of this. And it is the Eclipse that is behind us and on the march. I am a little bit wary of that Eclipse. I'm a little bit worried about it. That is for sure. We are going to carry some good speed around here. Now, can we set up for a pass on Chris before turn 1? That's the bit that matters, really. I'll say before, or on the way into... Actually, I guess technically it's not quite turn 1, but the big braking zone, the first braking zone. So I guess this would be turn 1. It'd be turn 3. Are we close enough? No, we're not. Don't have the brakes to get away with that, although I think we've given Chris a little bit of a scare, which is definitely going to be concerned here as we head up there. It's got good mid-corner speed, I'll give it that. It has got surprisingly good mid-corner speed there. We're not going to be close enough. The Evo's actually pulled away a little bit. Maybe it just had a couple of slower laps. It has now pulled the gap a little bit more away from me and Chris. We've got to be spot on through the chicane and then hope we can do something into the final corner. We are as aggressive as I dare be through there, but the car ahead still carries some good speed. We'll run it in with as much speed as we dare, but I'm not going to be close enough here. No. We are close, but that thing's got enough acceleration that it will beat us to the line. The Evo will claim victory. We will get on the podium again, though, with the DeLorean. Good race, that one. Very, very good race, actually. Unlucky for Rusky. I think their vehicle was fast, but difficult to control, and in the end it bit at an awkward point. I'm just going to see the lap times. Whew. It's bloody close between a lot of cars here. Hell, the Countach down in 10th was similar laps. There's a lot of very evenly matched cars going on. Bloody hell. Hopefully, we will continue to have as exciting a racing in this next one. We're at the Plaza circuit here. God knows if my car's going to be strong. It's not really many straights for the DeLorean. That's my concern here. I expect the Eclipse to be quick. The Fords might be a little bit more of a handful. Potentially the Coupe, we'll see. I expect the Eclipse and the Evo to be fast again, as I see no reason why they wouldn't be at this particular track. I think I might need more longer straights for the DeLorean to really come into its own. But being all-wheel drive, we may well be able to punch off some of these slower corners quite nicely. We have got decent enough traction off of these slower turns. That could be something, who knows. And street furniture could be a spanner in the works for anybody, including me, because we've kind of got a lamppost under our rear wheel almost there. Oh, early on the brakes, struggling to get stopped. The Eclipse has made a big mistake, and that's actually got Chris in trouble as well. That is a difficult corner on the first lap. If you don't know your car all that well, we're going to slide up and just shut the door on the Evo, but we know it's about, and it's going to be looking for a way back past. In fact, I think it got pushed past by the Countach there. Don't know if it got pushed or quite how it went on there. It looks like it might have done. Countach is to the inside. We're going to have to give the Lamborghini some space, although it didn't carry all that much speed up the hill either. The Eclipse has recovered. The Supras leading the way at the moment. I thought about trying to go underneath the Evo, couldn't make it work here. We've got a good run through there, we've got a good exit, but we're on the outside for these next couple of corners, can't do it. I tried to duck underneath, just caught the rear bumper of the Evo, trying to be clever. Didn't quite work. We're going to go for a duck underneath out of the final corner here. The Toyota ran wide and hit some street furniture. I'm going to get both of them with a better run down towards the start-finish line. We're up into third now. Supra leads the way from the Ford. Oh, DeLorean. I can't do turn. I can never seem to do turn one here. So annoying. It annoys the crap out of me. Don't worry. Oh, we're in trouble through there. Kept it together, but only just. Now, this is the place where aero maybe would help. This sort of track might help. It would, of course, cut my top speed down drastically, but we are struggling a little bit compared to perhaps the Supra. I don't know if the Ford has aero. I don't know. Can't remember what counts as aero on that. I actually pulled clear of the Eclipse. The Evo must have got itself in trouble somewhere. Supra's losing ground this lap as well. If the front two battle each other, it would not take long for a mad DeLorean to catch and join in the fun, and the Eclipse may catch all of us before the end of this. Who knows? I mean, the Evo might recover as well. We're going to be neat and tidy, and that is good. The Eclipse runs wide, is going to lose a bunch of time. We have caught Chris this lap quite nicely. If this can continue and Chris has overdriven it big time through there, it could be trouble for the Ford. Ford is looking like a little bit more of a handful around here. It's certainly not got the biggest tyres on that. I don't know what compound of tyre it's running. I think it might be on rally, but I'm not 100% sure. Whatever it is, Chris is out wide and in trouble at the final corner. Got street furniture as well. We should outrun that Ford down towards turn one. Unlike previous race where we sat staring at the back of it for the final few laps, this time we get the move done. We move up to second. Can I chase down a Supra around the streets of this Plaza circuit? I don't know. We will jump on the brakes, really slow it down for these tight, twisty sections. A little bit of street furniture in the way, nothing too bad. We're pulling a little bit of a gap to Chris as well. That is important, just so it doesn't try and fire back and cost us too much time. It's not close enough to have a look. Oh, gotta be patient. I've got to be a bit patient with the DeLorean. It doesn't turn. It turns well, but not amazing, and it's really tempting to overdrive the car trying to chase down the leader. Don't want to do that. The Eclipse is on the march as well. It's still there. I mean, not much has changed in terms of the gap. We may be catching that Supra a tiny little bit, although that was a bit of a bad corner by me. So any gains we made is, I think, now gone away from us. Don't run wide through here. We saw, I mean, this is what put Chris in trouble last lap around. Make sure we get to the apex of the second part through there, which we do. And then we got this next section in this car, and in most of these A-Class cars, is probably nothing to really think about. Have got to get this final corner spot on, and we do. Don't hit the street furniture on the outside. Yeah, we're better through there than the Ford, so we pulled a gap. We're so close with the Supra. Like, we are pretty much doing identical lap times, which means we can't really catch. The Supra can't pull away. Any mistakes from the Toyota, and we would pounce at this point. And there is a mistake from the Supra, but it is not a big one. You might survive. You'll survive little mistakes like that because the gap's still a bit too big. A big mistake would be trouble. The Ford's gone. Don't know what's happened to the Ford. Oh, we're going to overdrive that. It's probably going to cost me any chance. I was pushing it. I mean, it's not cost us massive amount of lap time, but we have just lost a little bit of ground. I'm trying to get every last drop of performance that we can out of this DeLorean. It's on, I say on the road. It's not. They're not terrible tires. The off-road race tires do work quite well on road, but trying to get every little bit of performance out of tires that are perhaps not as good. But I know the Supra's in the same boat as me. I know the Supra's on the same tire as me. It was better there. We could have pushed it a little bit more through that corner. There was still some room for speed in the DeLorean. We've really closed up, I think, through here. Supra clonked the wall on the inside. We're going to clonk the way. I had to drive it as hard as I can through there. Got no other choice. We're going to be close, but not close enough here, unless there's a massive error by the Supra, which there isn't. It's nicely done from the Toyota. We put it under as much pressure as we could. I drove the wheels off the DeLorean. We got it to second, but that is all we could manage. Another very, very good race. Another very good race indeed. I just couldn't catch it. I think our lap times are going to be phenomenally close. I think it will go to the. I think it will go to me just, but not by very much at all in that one. Yep, I was right. 27.3, 27.2, 27.4 for the Eclipse. Bloody close. The Ford wasn't bad either. 27.9, not that far off for that circuit. Evo didn't work there, which surprises me. That's a fair bit down. Wasn't expecting that. Wasn't expecting that at all. But there we go. Yeah, that was a good race. That was a good race indeed. It's another podium for DeLorean. We are to the Baja circuit for our next race. Full off-road track. Should be a good one for the DeLorean. We know it's a bit of a handful in the corners, but these longer straights, the acceleration zones should be good for it. But we'll see, really. I'm expecting it should be strong here. Although we do know at least the Supra's on off-road race tyres. I'm pretty sure the Evo was. I think the Eclipse is as well. The Ford might be out of contention here. That's whatever that tyre is on is not an off-roady one. And I don't think Ruski's Ford works here either. I don't think the Ferrari's going to work. The Countach is on some form of off-roady tyre. Likewise, that's very big rear tyres, although tiny front tyres. We're in trouble. Don't go towards that wall, please, DeLorean. No, it's a bit bumpy. Right, let's get this car stopped through here and see what we can do with the DeLorean. Now we want to clear. So we want to clear traffic. We don't want to fall too far. Oh, I don't think the Toyota knew we were kind of carrying momentum there. We don't want to let the Supra get away. If we're quicker than it, we've only got so many laps. That is a huge amount of airtime for me that I did not need at all through there. We're going to profit on Countach and Toyota squabble and move ourselves up into 4th place. If we do have good top end, Countach is looking. He's going to struggle to find a way through there because that's a flat out corner. Countach wants to have a go to the inside. At the penultimate corner, actually, not quite the final turn. We can maybe get a good run on the exit. I do prefer sometimes the higher line in these turns. And indeed, we have got the run towards the start-finish line. Okay, big bounce across towards turn 1 we go. Right, DeLorean, we got 3 cars ahead of us, pulled clear of the Countach. We're going to have to pass these two as swift as possible. I just can't afford to let the Supra get too far away. Evo's running very high through there, although we'll get a good bit on the power nice and early. I'm trying to duck underneath, but got no space to do it. Come on, DeLorean, you carry great speed through there, but where are we going to find this path? Where are we going to make it work? We're going to get alongside the Evo here. We're going to try and not get the front end as high into the air. Now, I want to run around the top of this because we get a good launch off of the corner. Don't worry, Evo, I think I kind of turned down a little bit on you. You came up the banking a little bit towards me. All is good in that one. A little bit of swapping of paint. No harm done. We are up into 3rd. Supra ran very deep into the hairpin, as did the Toyota for that matter. We get a bit of understeer. Can't get on the power as soon as I want to, but I think we've got this. I think we've got the speed over the Evo here. Have I got the speed over the top two though? Well, I don't know if I have enough time to do anything. I think the Toyota's actually a little bit better around here than I am. Not got turn 1 very well. Lost all momentum through there. That might put us under threat from that Evo, depending on how things go down here. The 2000 GT is chucked very sideways through there, lags a little bit. We can at least go full throttle through this banked corner this time around without any vehicle in the way, and we will avoid the water again. Can't afford to have the back end stepping out. That's just costing momentum at critical points. We do wander a little bit wide there. Don't necessarily want to run quite that wide. We'll still fire it off the top of that banked corner nicely. Again, I think all 3 of us at the front here are going to have very, very similar lap times. Just no one's catching anyone because, well, we're all driving pretty much identical lap times. Both those 2 are driving a lot harder into that corner. I feel like it's a little too late on the brakes. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm taking a bit of a different line. The DeLorean's not great on the bumps, I will say that. It feels a little sketchy. It doesn't feel as planted. Maybe it's the lack of aero or whatever on this. It does not feel as nice. And maybe that is a problem here. We're on to the final lap of the race. Toyota is, let's say both Toyotas actually, 2000 GT is catching the leader here, although I think it missed a checkpoint. It threw too much at the Supra and, yeah, missed the checkpoint, and that will be game over. Unfortunate for the 1000 GT. I think it was the quickest car at this circuit. I do believe it was. I am not the quickest car at this circuit, I don't think. We've been fast elsewhere. But at this track, I think the Supra's got the measure of us. We'll see the fastest laps. I don't think it's by much. Again, I think they're all very, very close. So we clonked the wall there. Don't clonk the next bit of a wall. I can't really lift, though, because the Evo's not far behind if things go wrong. Yeah, I think we're all been remarkably close. A load of understeer through there as well. Yeah, I think maybe tyres might be my undoing a little bit here. I've not got very big tyre widths compared to some of the other cars, and maybe a lack of aero just not quite working for us at the Baja circuit. Again, another great race. Did spend most of it trying to chase some cars down. Not quite the pace in that one. Close, definitely. We're only going to be talking a few tenths. Yeah, that sounds about right. In fact, the Supra maybe got better final lap. Either way, good lap from the Supra. Very close between the Supra and the 1000 GT. Me and the Evo within a tenth of each other. Oh, and we were a good chunk quicker than the Countach and the rest of the pack here. It's another second place. Hell, I mean, we've been consistent. We've been on the podium every race so far. So that's something. We head to the Horizon Mexico circuit. Ooh, we have a nice spot on the grid. This could be interesting. Oh, we've had a bunch of disconnections. This, I mean, should still be a fun race. We've still got some fast cars in this. I love Forza sometimes. Bloody hell, why has it done this? Ford Coupe on the front row is on rally tyres, which, I mean, they're good tyres. They've got good grip, but I suspect it might be rear-wheel drive still. So it's going to lose out on the launch, but it's going to have, I know it's got phenomenal levels of power. We know the Eclipse is strong. We know the Supra is going to be strong. We know the 2000 GT has its moments as well. So who knows what we might see around this track. This is a little bit of a different sort of circuit. Does perhaps tend to favour power cars here. Might go the way of the Toyota. I mean, my car's very strong. My car has a decent top speed, but my car's main strength is its kind of acceleration. My car's surprisingly good at the city circuit. That Eclipse has got actually a really good gap early on. Might struggle to reel that in, actually. I was hoping we're towards the front we're going to be able to kind of just blast away, but the Eclipse has got the gap. The Ford of Rusky might make its way through. They're fighting 3 wide. The longer they fight, the better that is for me, and the better it is for the Eclipse as well. I mean, we want to see a big squabble back there. We want to see them slow each other down. The rear-wheel drive nature of that Ford is not going to be a problem here. That thing is monstrous down the straights, and it's off. It will be an absolute handful through some of these corners. In fact, the front wheels are barely touching the ground through there, but it's off. It's now going chasing after the Eclipse. I don't think the Eclipse realised it was approaching with quite as much speed as it was. Now, this could help me in my battle for another second place. I don't think I've really got an answer to that Ford. I think it's just so brutally fast down these straights and still able to carry the corner speed, or enough corner speed that I might not be able to touch it. Are they going to have a look to the inside of the bridge? No, they're not. Probably for probably a wise idea. We're going to run a little wide. Oh, we kiss the wall, that's fine. Don't lose too much time. Big fight going on behind us over that 4th place, which is something. Rusky gets a big slide out of the hairpin. The Eclipse was in a bit of trouble as well there. This time the Ford gets to the inside to make the pass. Now, the Eclipse might be able to fight back mid-corner. It just won't be able to match that. Yeah, the Ford just goes once it gets into a straight line. Toyota's up to 4th in that battle behind us. We will have a little bit of a kind of lift through there. Yeah, we don't quite have the grip. We're very close to the Eclipse in terms of lap speed. We're gaining our speed in slightly different ways, but no one is going to have an answer, I don't think, for that Ford. It's just got enough controllability that it can use its power around this circuit, and once it goes, it absolutely flies. surprised we pulled so far away from the rest of them, but I think that's because they're squabbling amongst themselves. I think on actual pace, I think they're quicker, but I think they're just fighting for position a lot, which has slowed all of them down. But basically, we will try our best to... I mean, yeah, here we make some ground on the Eclipse. We've got some speed in places. It's certainly not... We're not gaining enough time to be able to even think about a pass without there being a mistake from that car. I can't do anything about it. Chris is up to 4th with the other Ford, so there really is an almighty squabble going on for places back there. Oh, that's too much bravery through there. And me just trying to carry a bit too much speed. We kind of had to go... Well, I shouldn't have. Maybe I shouldn't have done because the Eclipse made a mess of turn 1. As I say, I'm pushing as hard as I can, trying to make up any lap time I can on that car ahead, and typically overdriving it there. The Eclipse messed up the next corner. Had I not hit the wall, maybe we would have been close enough to start making the Eclipse defend in places. That's what we want to do. We want to slow down the car ahead however we can, but we're not close enough. You know, if we're moving around behind it thinking about trying to overtake, you know, we're never close enough to actually realistically, I mean, miles away from being able to actually do a pass. So they're not having to defend, they're not having to think, oh, there might be a DeLorean here or there. So yeah, there's not much we can do. Ford's had a bit of an iffy lap as well. It's not really, it's actually fallen back a little bit more towards us. We have one more time around. I mean, we're hoping for a mistake from a vehicle ahead, but that's really all we've got going for us here. Oh, that's too much speed again through there. No, I just can't quite match their pace, which I say is a little bit of a shame. I mean, we're still very quick. The DeLorean's still a strong car. Again, the Eclipse gets a little bit wide, although so do we through there. Just, yeah, we just can't quite live with that speed. A shame for us, but we're well clear of 4th. Another podium is pretty good going. A little bit of a lock-up perhaps from that Mitsubishi. Off the bridge, we will run a smidge wide. We don't really care if we hit the dirt. We're all-wheel drive. We've got the tyres for it, so that if we do, it's no big deal. I feel like this hairpin's the one place we were. It's just the low-speed corners is where we're really strong at the low-speed corners with this car. It's not quite got the grip for the higher speed stuff, but low speed corners, low speed kind of acceleration zones where the DeLorean shines. Not bad straight line speed, but yeah, this track not quite suited to this vehicle. That being said, though, I mean, we had a good race. This one was probably the more lonely of the races. We just kind of wandered around a little bit, lost in 3rd, and did not get that corner even close to her. I got worse at the final corner. We'll cross the line, we'll take a podium, a little bit of a distant podium. I think that was the furthest we were off the pace. All session, if you like. I mean, it's an impressive thing you can say about a car when 3rd is the furthest off the pace we've been all day. That Ford was quick. That Ford was blisteringly fast. But there we go. That was a good, fun series of races, I have to say. Was that... Oh, the Eclipse is on rally tyres. That no wonder I can't bloody match it. That would make sense. Well, there we go. Yes, that was a good fun race. I like my DeLorean. That's a good car. That is just a strong all-round vehicle, this thing. Given the right circuit, it could, yeah, fight with the best of them. We had a lot of good racing, a lot of close wheel racing in some of these. Had a lot of fun. I'm pleased I had to go with the DeLorean. Yeah, never really run one of these before, and it proved to be pretty successful. Anyway, that is going to be it for this video. If you would like to sign up to take part in the next one of these, you can via our Discord. There'll be a link in the description. Find the Versus Community sign up section, and you can register to take part in there. That shall be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.